What the rich invest in that the poor do not. Well, there's different rules for the rich and the poor. So if I'm you and I'm sitting out there and I'm poor, I'm saying I'm going to go get rich. And that I'd only follow and talk to rich people and get serious about it. So I'm going to talk about a few things. One is I went from being, I shouldn't say poor, but very middle America, farm family in Nebraska. Great way to grow up. It was fabulous. Loved the farm, loved like all of that. But a lot of you don't really go like buckle down. At 17 years old, I was given the book Think and Grow Rich. And from then I've studied why and how so few millionaires are made. And the patterns are the same. So let's dig in deeply to this one. So what are the deals that the rich get to invest in? And I'm going to tell you some of those rules. How do we maximize profits through very sophisticated tools? So I'm going to share with you a few softwares. A few of them, I'm going to give you some free apps to go link and see if there are a couple that you want to do for free. And I'll tell you some runway, like where you go from where you are to what you need to be. And I'm going to talk about being an accredited investor and how critical that is. So last thing I want to share with you is really what I'm going to call my gold is how do you leverage debt? How do you arbitrage debt? How do you use other people's money? And how do you use that to just scale and grow as fast as you can? And by the way, you're all going to need better teams and better systems, which means you're going to have to invest in your growth. So what can the rich invest in? Well, there is, again, this thing called accredited status versus non-accredited status. I'll give the description and the definition of that in a moment. But accredited investors are what's considered the rich investor. So you don't have to be a millionaire, but you do have to make a lot more money. So again, we'll tell you that in the next thing. But what we invest in are things that's not even available to the normal public. It's maybe what financial planners or private offices, family offices, private equity firms can do. But we're investing straight into the markets. So for example, instead of buying, say, stock for Chevron, Shell, Exxon, whatever gas and oil, company that you really like, we actually buy the well. So we buy what's called capital working interest in the well. So that way we have massive depreciation schedules. We don't buy a REIT in the stock market. We buy the real estate and we manage it and we control it in every aspect of the way. We actually drive around town, right? Somebody owns everything. Somebody owns every restaurant. Somebody owns a hair salon. Somebody owns a nail salon. Somebody owns a casino in town. Somebody owns your marijuana grow if that's legal in your state. Somebody owns all this. They own the gyms. Somebody owns. Why don't you? That's always been my message. So the rich own and we control, but we actually own through corporate structure and trust structures. Like I, Loral Langemeier, personally am not wealthy. I make $42,000. I'm a single mom of a daughter. My son's 24. He's not in my tax bracket anymore. So we just play the game the way the game's designed and laid out for you, and it's all legal. Why don't more people do it? First of all, you're being 100% misguided. You've been taught to become an employee, not an entrepreneur, not a business owner. Now, can employees, wealthy employees that make a lot of money, become wealthy? Absolutely. I have a lot of employees that are actually accredited investors because of their salaries, but how they're taxed and how they invest is where they go wrong. So again, if you feel like you're being overtaxed, you're not sure what I'm talking about when I'm about investing like the rich do, like go to askloral.com. Ask me any question. I am here to support you, get you straight in your thinking about money and atrophy those old bad behaviors, and let's accelerate the right behaviors, which very few people ever tell you, the right ones in comprehensive format. Now, number two, the second thing that would really is critical is how we use software. So for example, the stock market, and I call that the park and pray place, where most of you go to a financial planner, go into whatever, traditional financial institute, and like a Schwab and a Fidelity or Chase, whoever, and they're going to give you a self-directed account so you can pick stocks that are only in their category. They're only Schwab products, they're Fidelity products, they're Chase products, they're their products. They're not, you can't take that money out and go buy real estate with it. So then you play what I call the emotional markets. So they're market makers in Wall Street. That's how it's designed. So people can run up a stock, they can take down a stock, like it's very manipulated. So why live in a world you don't control? And here's the whole catch for poor people. And I'm saying poor are people that just aren't getting like the memo is you make a bunch of money. First of all, you make it as an employee. You're overtaxed. You don't understand corporate structure because your CPA said you're not big enough for it. How many of those people? So now you're overpaying taxes. And then you park your money with a financial planner and pray to God in 20 years this whole thing's going to work out. And it doesn't. You have to be in control the whole way. You have to control how you make the money. You have to control how you're taxed. You have to control how you're investing. You lead it and they do the work for you. How about that? Let's flip that relationship with these experts. And that's what I teach you to do. Flip the relationship. Have enough knowledge that you can lead your CPA and tell them, no, this is what we're doing. I saw the stock market early in my 20s when I got my finance degree and said, not a chance. So I went straight straight to real estate because that was like a place that I was not going to stay. Now, for those of you who are great traders and you actively trade, you get up with the market, you go to bed with the market, you stay up through the night, from the Forex markets, you can print money because you're good. But there's about a half percent of you that actually know how to do that well. So the rest of you just park and pray. So there's a software called iFlip. So we created it because the guy who created it and designed all the algorithms, he actually worked for the Deutsche Bank. He actually worked and oversaw Bain Capital. Like he oversaw billions of dollars and said, why do the rich do this in their softwares and there's tools, but there's no tools for the normal people? So we took Wall Street to Main Street. We call it iFlip. And so it's designed to take you in and out of the markets. There's no commissions, there's no fees. And guess what? It's AI driven. So it takes you in the market, takes you out of the market, so you're not going to have huge losses. And it's just fabulous. So go grab an iFlip free account and get started. Just check it out. That's what I do. I've been doing it. All of our clients do that because why risk it with some financial planner that's doing all that to you? Now, before I tell you the big one, the fun one, please subscribe to my channel. Be here 5 days a week. Share this with your kids. This is a family-friendly channel. Like some of these topics are a little more advanced. You'll say, well, my 5-year-old, 7-year-old don't get it. You know what? Just get this conversation around. Let them be around when they're listening. My daughter was in vitro. Like I literally wrote this book and then birthed her after this became a bestseller in January 2006. She was born in October 2006. She's like, could repeat me. I said, the difference is repeating me now living it. So that's parenting. So make sure their kids are out here. If you have any questions, again, you always go to Ask Loral. Now, the big $1 trillion tip of what the rich do is we get accredited as fast as we can. What do I do for you as a mentor and coach? Help you get accredited. What does that mean? That means you make $250 or more as an individual for the last 2 years, not including your home. You make $350 or more as a couple for the last 2 years, not including your home. Or you're just a millionaire. Net worth meaning assets minus liability is a net worth millionaire. So that means you're accredited. So now you can invest in all those things I just talked about. But here's where the game gets juicy and extremely legal and fun is arbitraging debt. So I'm going to teach you to be a bank. So debt's just the cost of money, right? So rich people know that. So if I can get money for 2 and 3, even 4% in this market, and I can invest it for 10, 12, 15, 20%, are you kidding? I'm going to get as much cheap money and I'm going to invest it and I'm going to take the spread. The spread is what banks do. You can do this too legally through corporate structure. Ideally, you protect yourself in trust structure. I have all these plans for you. I have all these things I can teach you and the experts to do it for you. Please don't do this stuff on your own. It's risky out there. Lots of scams going on. Arbitraging debt, leveraging debt, using other people's money. Like who cares you're $1 million in debt if you're making 10 million? Who cares if you're $100,000 in debt if you're making 500? See, a lot of you've got to have to atrophy this thinking around what debt is, good or bad to you. Because I think good debt's fabulous, right? It buys assets. It helps you grow. It grows wealth. Why most of you stay poor, this is my final message, is because you think you have to be debt free. You think that making money is get a job and get another job, and you're overpaying taxes. It's not hard. It's different. It's very different than you've been taught. So let me teach you. Have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow.